Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit or Zappy here, back again with Kuroko in the Basket Season 2. We are on episode 6, and in the last episode we continued our match with Seirin and Shotoku, the second competitive match that they've gone up against each other, and I feel like I've said before, Shotoku's going to end up getting the win. It serves them, I think, right in the whole scope of, like, you know, the story and everything like that, because obviously we are in the Championship League where we're facing them this time round, so it's not a knockout game. That means Seirin can't eat the loss without getting knocked out of the actual Winter Cup, and it, you know, elevates Shotoku, like, you know, to a point where they're on par with Seirin in terms of wins. So it's you know, it'll be 1-1 on each side. You know, and obviously I just don't think you want to really purely demolish a generation of miracles, because then it would just diminish their, you know, how good they are supposed to be. You know, so it makes sense, I think, story-wise for Shotoku to end up getting the win, which is why I'm a bit, like, on the fence as to the idea of Kuroko going to showcase his new drive. Now, that being said, of course, I'm looking at it from a meta perspective, and, you know, if you're looking at it from the character's point of view, it's like, well, we can win this match, and they should go for the win, and not just, like, be like, alright, we'll just leave it for, you know, a match that actually is technically a knockout game. You know, so, you know, the characters are just being like, we can win this game with Kuroko's new drive. The thing is that when the way I'm looking at it from obviously that meta perspective is like, we're going to go into a game where we're showcasing his new drive that's supposed to be, like, unstoppable, and they're going to end up losing anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I could be completely wrong, and Seirin end up getting the win again, but I just feel like I would be disappointed with that outcome, because I wouldn't want Shotoku getting beaten twice, you know, because it just diminishes Midorima. And then, you know, it means that the match against Kurosaki Daichi doesn't really mean anything, you know what I mean? Because that means Seirin would be automatically through, because they beat Senshinkan, and if they beat Shotoku, that means they're through. So it just, you know what I mean? That's the problem, I guess, with, like, being able to see things, like, in advance, because I just feel like surely there's no way that Seirin beat Shotoku. I just don't say it, you know what I mean? Because I would just be disappointed if that was the case, you know? So yeah, but I don't think I need to talk about anything else. We're just going to get in episode 6. So if you do want to go watch the reaction, link is in the description. There's also a link to the full length if you do want to watch it in full, and not just the 10-minute cut version, then the offer is there for you. But yeah, nothing else to really talk about, so we're going to get in episode 6 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 6. Fucking hell, man. Alright, we're going into overtime then. Well, that can't be good for Kiyoshi. I feel like he's not in a good way right now. There has to be something about whoever gets fouled has to take the shots. Because I don't know why you wouldn't just give it to Hyuga, you know? I mean, Hyuga specifically noticed, you know what I mean, that Kiyoshi was struggling. So if he could take the free shots, then surely he would speak up, you know? But he's the best shooter that we've got, you know? So either way, even if Kiyoshi wasn't, like, struggling, I just knew he was going to miss that second shot, man. It was all just, it was all written in the stars. Fucking hell, man. So the way that ended, because it's still in the air, Seirin could still possibly win. I just don't see it happening though. Like, it's not. Shotoku are winning, right? I've, like, doubled down on that. Like, Shotoku are winning, so it's going to go into overtime. Kagami's and Kiyoshi's going to be fucked. Midorima is going to have, like, one last spurt of, like, you know what I mean? Because he's already beyond his limit, so I feel like this is his, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be the case of, like, he's only got one last shot in him, and that's going to end up winning the game for them. I feel like that's just the way it's going to go. But yeah, I feel like because they're still in the air with the ball, that hypothetically, like, theoretically, Kagami could dunk and win them the game, right? Not going to happen, but theoretically that's what could happen, right? Yeah, exciting game. Very, very exciting game. Like, even, like, the people in the stands are like, damn, you know, I don't want it to end. Really, really cool. Just a match of just pure attack versus attack. Which is something that obviously across all sports is what people like to see. You know what I mean? You don't want to see people just behind the ball and just pure defense. I think I've talked about that before, strictly with the Seiho team, but yeah, really really cool. Free shot's only 1 point, so that's a good thing to note. God damn, what a way to just end the actual the game before overtime, because of this, obviously the state of the scoreline and free shots being 1 point. It meant that anything could have happened. Literally anything could have happened. If Kiyoshi had missed 2 of them, then they would have lost. If he made the 2, then they would have won. But it went down the middle and it ended up being an overtime thing. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so we eventually saw the drive in action truly work. He went up against Midorima first, which I was not expecting. I was expecting it was purely going to be Tako, but he used it twice against Tako anyway afterwards. The second one that he did against Tako was insane, because he was still in the air and he had the time he had to take obviously to hit the floor again, immediately landed on the ball of his feet and straight for the drive. That was insane. That was nuts. It seems as though he can't do it one after the other. What we've seen is that Kuroko does it against one person and then passes it off. So I think it's a case of for a very fast temporary misdirection of when he uses his vanishing drive, it immediately wears off, so he has to pass it off. I think that's why he can't do it twice in a row against somebody else. Yeah, insane, absolutely insane. I'll tell you what, the fucking the thing about season 2, I should have really started with this, because I don't want to end off the thing and end off the video I suppose critiquing the show. But the season 2, man, in their recaps, Jesus, they put in the recap stuff that doesn't need to be there. You know what I mean? Kuroko coming off the court, for example. In this one, there was one last session I did that showed the guy from, what was his name, Narumi from Josei, talking about Rico having a lack of boobs in a recap. You don't need to show that. You know what I mean? It's not some crazy plot point that changes the outcome of everything. You know what I mean? We don't need a recap. We specifically don't need a recap 3 minutes long. I get if you want to put one maybe a minute long, right? But fucking hell, 3 minute recap. Bloody hell, man. Insane. But yeah, so Kiyoshi and his legs have gone. I'm thinking, though, it's not just that his legs have gone, because realistically, he hasn't been, overexerting himself in this game. You know what I mean? He's been doubling up on Midorima, but he hasn't really been jumping at Midorima like Kagami has. So, I don't think it's a case of him overexerting his muscles or anything like that. I just think that this is part of this injury thing that Hanamiya was talking about. So, yeah. That's the thing as well. With Shotoku, in my mind, going on to win this match, it means that the Kurosaki Daiichi match is going to be... I think that's going to be tough. I did say, or asked during the reaction, that I don't know if the Kurosaki Daiichi match takes place in the same day. They haven't mentioned it, so I'm going to say it's not, which is good, because that means obviously Kagami can rest up. But for Kiyoshi, I feel he's going to be even, he's going to be less fit than he was for obviously the start of this match, because obviously his legs are niggling at him now. So, and the thing is that because this Hanamiya guy's a prick, you know he's going to fucking target that shit. So, fuck that guy. He better not do anything to fucking hurt my boy. but I feel like it's just going to end up. It's inevitably going to fucking happen, isn't it? So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game that Kurosaki Daiichi won. It's going to be a nice feeling when they inevitably win. But yeah, overtime, Jesus! And I was thinking that this was the episode that like the Shotoku match was going to come to an end, but no, they've extended it an extra episode. So yeah, overtime. I don't think they've explained what overtime consists of, like in terms of minutes. Is it just 1 quarter? It seems like that would probably be. Although it is 10 minutes. I don't know. Because, like, if I'm thinking of it, like, you know, for example, in football, extra time is, you know, same as overtime, but it's like extra time is not like a full half of football. A full half of football is like 45 minutes, right? But instead, an extra time, they play a 30-minute, like, you know, thing with a half in the middle. So it would be 2 15-minute halves. So I don't know if, like, for, you know, overtime in basketball, it's just like you play 1 quarter, and who knows, maybe you get like a half 5 minutes through. I don't know. But you know, we'll see next time. But yeah, that is all I've got. So very, very entertaining. Very much enjoying it. Shotoku's going to end up winning it. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, if you do want to gain access to episodes 7 and 8 right now, you can do by becoming an early access tier on my Patreon. It's $5 a month. It gives you access to shows obviously a week early. There's also the full length if you want to watch any of these in full, and then there's the exclusive tier where you can you can watch my reactions to movies and things like that. So you know, if you want to watch my reactions to those, then the exclusive tier is for you. There's also a link in the to the Discord in my description as well, so you can go over there if you wish. But that's all I've got, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.